Hey guys, a couple updates here. One, you can see me wearing this new breathable mesh jersey. I went down to the print shop yesterday, not even expecting to have these, just to pick up some new jerseys, and Maddie had made me these. So big surprise! I was really excited. He also hooked up this hoodie, first ever MP hoodie, and a couple other goodies. So Maddie, you're the man. Thank you. So, a couple things. One, Tufts went down to Charlotte, North Carolina, and just demolished everybody last weekend. So, that makes me really excited. These guys have been training for about 6 weeks now. We're moving on to phase 3 stuff. We're plate runs, TRX crossovers. These guys are getting really, really strong. All their movements are looking that much better. They're making big mobility gains, flexibility. They're just moving well and adding a lot of strength and power on top of that. So it's awesome to see. Speaking of strength and power, a couple months back we were talking about that. Hey, the deadlift is probably a movement that we want to get good at if we want to be good athletes. So obviously setting goals and working hard to reach those goals is a good way to make sure you're getting better every day. So my buddy Jake inspired me to eventually try to set the goal of 405-pound deadlift and then relentlessly chase that goal. The first ultimate player to accomplish it that has told us about it is Bill Mill. So big shout out, Bill Mill. That's awesome. Bill's been lifted for a long time. He's one of my biggest influences when I was playing medicine in Baltimore, because he was just one of the leaders of the team, and I was just this young dude just trying to earn some playing time, and he always was into lifting, and obviously he's still strong as an ox. Bill, I hope maybe this year truck stop. I think you're that level of a player. I don't know. I haven't talked to you in a while, but Bill got 405. I think Goose is going to be the next one. Goosey out with Machine. And speaking of Goose, Josh Shepard, Rook, just made the Indianapolis, what's the Indianapolis team? Whatever the name of the Indianapolis AUDL team is, Rook, Joshua Shepard. You didn't even tell me, man. You didn't even call and tell me you made the team. I didn't even know you were trying out, but that's awesome. I think that's going to be a good team. Tomorrow, headed down to hang out with my buddies Kinji and the Bushido guys down in Dominican. Spent about 8 days down there, and I love sunshine. I love Bushido. I love Central America. I love the ocean. I love the mountains. So fired up to go to the Dominican tomorrow. What else happened this week? This came in the mail, so you guys can see it. So I finally finished that. My degree, my thesis passed about 4 months ago, and then that thing finally came in the mail, so it's official. I can hang it on the wall. I can talk forever about that experience in Northern Iowa, but I mean, what I'll say is, without guys like Jed Smith, Robin Lund, and Nick Davis, I definitely wouldn't be talking at you guys right now. So that's a blog post in the future, because I miss Northern Iowa. I miss my ammunition boys. I miss the UNI strength and conditioning staff. I miss teaching classes. I miss my Panther Ultimate class. So shout out to you guys if you're out there. But when that came in the mail, it got me thinking about a couple of things. Like, I don't know how many of you guys are actively in school or out of school, but I think a lot of times what happens is we spend our lives in school, and then when we come out of school, we're like, wow, we got that done. All my learning days are over. I'm not going to learn anymore. I'm not going to read. I'm not going to write. Well, I think that in order to be successful, in order to get the most we can out of our lives, in order to be the best we can be, we have to have the opposite approach. Like, wow, school's done. Now I can read exactly what I want to read. I can write exactly what I want to write. So along that note, I'm taking a couple books down to me to the Dominican that I'm fired up about. One, this book, Budo Secrets. It's just teachings of ancient martial arts masters. It's just filled with a ton of awesome stuff. Like this page, the teachings of Tempo Nakamura, and it's just a bunch of little quotes. You only live once. Keep yourself in the present. The past is gone. The future is unknown. Do not overwork yourself. Constantly reflect on your state of mind. Approach others in a positive, bright manner. Always be grateful, honest, kind, and pleasant. Speak truly and honestly. Just little tidbits like that kind of can get you rolling and get you thinking about some things. So I'm excited to take my way through that. Another book, if I have time, I'm going to start pounding out the West Point way of leadership. Whatever they're doing at West Point, they crank out some of the world's best leaders. So I think that this is probably going to have a lot of good nuggets of information. And then with strength and conditioning stuff, there's a in Australian, I think she's Australian, physical therapist named Joanne Elphinston, and she wrote this book, Stability, Sport, and Performance Movement. So I'm excited to start getting through this. It's got a bunch of cool diagrams and a kind of a different ways of doing assessment and breathing and and just kind of tying together the physical therapy, chiropractic with the strength and conditioning side. So I'm fired up to spend some time doing that. But that that diploma, it just got me thinking that I probably need to do a better job of keeping up with my continuing education. I mean, granted, after I finished grad school, I was a little bit burnt out with all the reading and writing, and I took some time off. But then, all this traveling, and it's easy to just, get caught up in what's in front of you, or you release a video and you want to watch it 4 times, and it's like, I got to get out of that habit and just work on always this on to the next one mentality, and at the same time always having the beginner's mindset mentality. And that's one thing that I realized 2 weeks ago when I was in Seattle, just how much I learned in that 48-hour weekend. There's a book called, I think I actually have it, it's called The Warrior Mind by Jim Pritchard, and one of the things he talks about is one, always approaching all situations with the beginner's mindset, just like, hey, I've never seen this before. What do I think about this? And 2, taking that a step further, thinking about approaching situations with attentive curiosity. So every time you find yourself in a new situation, calmly take a step back and think to yourself, just, hey, what's going on here? Just observe your surroundings and take it all in before you make any moves. Let your mind kind of undulate between the possibilities of what really is the best way to attack what's going on in front of you. And the reason I brought up the Seattle trip is because I had so many different sessions with so many different kinds of athletes. It's like when I come into a session with Seattle Sockeye, some of the best athletes in the world, some of my heroes, and there I am, and me as a speed coach, as a strength and conditioning coach, as an educator, how do I attack that? What presence do I put out there? Do I come across as some ego and be real hard? Hey, we're doing this, and you guys stink, and blah blah. Or do we come across it and just be real honest and attack it from that way? And then the same thing with something like female athletes, like Riot. How do I attack those sessions versus, the high school kids? And then say these guys just aren't getting a drill. I need to take a step back and say, hey, what is wrong with my cueing? What is wrong with what I'm doing here so that these guys aren't getting this stuff? And I think what I did a nice job of after the Seattle Clinics was taking a step back and thinking, man, like that was a lot. What did I learn about coaching this kind of athlete versus this kind of athlete? What did I learn about these cues? What did I learn about this, and the other thing? And from that, I was able to really come away with a lot of growth. So I think if we spend the time always thinking beginner's mindset, always attentive curiosity. I mean, are you walking down the street? Are you just like looking at the sidewalk and not thinking about anything? Or are you taking in what's around you and making subtle observations? And then always asking ourselves, whether it's at the beginning of the day or after some kind of event happened, what did I learn? We're always going to learn something, and it's important to constantly reflect on that. So I'm going to try to get a ton of reading done when I'm in the Dominican. Actually, I'm going to get a ton of reading done. I'm going to take a little break from the social media business and do my thing. I'll get back at you guys in about a week or two. When I come back, I've decided to take a little bit of time away from traveling. I've been kind of hustling real hard, and I think that that's definitely gotten in the way of my own training, my own health. And I don't know if you guys know, but I haven't been able to sprint in a long time now because I just got some junky heel cords from too much mountain climbing and plyometrics and incline treadmill running and just doing all this silly stuff and then eating foods that I probably shouldn't be eating. So I'm going to take some time and really devote myself to being here in Boston, working with the Boston area teams, and take a little bit better care of myself so that in summertime I can be out there playing with you guys. So that's all I got for now. See ya.